Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another great cast. Up on the United Rogue Overwatch side, we got Nashville Legends and New York Insomnia facing off against each other here tonight. I am joined here by Aria. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. This is like my first debut here.
Yeah,
I'm vibing.
it's exciting. I mean, when you come onto a new league, are you nervous at all?
No,
No, you've just
never
done this too
nervous.
many times.
Yeah, I'm like used
Were
to it
you
at this point.
were you at least nervous your first cast?
Oh, yeah, totally. I remember
Okay,
that.
good. Well, getting into it, both the teams are looking up to secure another win for their. No team has gone completely winless. That's very good. But I mean, I have the records pulled up right next to me, and it's not looking too hot for Nashville. It's looking a lot better for New York. Nashville is currently 1-2 on their season. They had a bye week 3, but I mean they do have one over Montreal. New York, on the other hand, 3-1, strong contender for playoffs at this range. And I mean, they've also beat Montreal. They've also beat a team that Nashville lost to, which was Vancouver.
Mhm.
So going into this game, predictions are predictions. I don't think we actually run predictions on the Twitch side, but just hearing those stats, Naya, it looks a little bit obvious. So I would honestly like to see Nashville show it up because they did perform very strongly this past Sunday against Pittsburgh. They
Yeah.
unfortunately lost, but it was a good game. They showed some stuff. I was a little bit impressed.
Yeah, it was definitely close, definitely impressive. I actually remember tuning in to that stream. That was the first stream that I actually got to overlook before I joined here. But yeah, Nashville, I could definitely see this being a competition for them against New York Insomnia. Now, who's to say New York Insomnia will make an upset against Nashville? Stuff can happen here, right? It's Overwatch. Teams could run certain compositions that can upset the other, side's mental.
Yeah, that mental game is going to be very important. I mean, this first map, already picked, coin flip, did go the way of Nashville. Hearing rumors that Saucepan is the GOAT at coin flips, just guessing heads every single time. And with that, first map picked goes to Lijiang, brings us to China.
Nice. So Lijiang Tower. So something to say about this map, well, at least from my knowledge, my background is a lot of teams could run a different, variety composition there. You could see a lot of dive played there. It just depends upon what the teams want to run. But as well, Brawl type comps could also get seen here a bunch. So I wouldn't be surprised if Brawl were to come out here as that first choice.
Yeah, I'm just seeing the bans come in now. You just said Brawl to come out.
Yeah.
Looks like Saucepan is banning Moira, which we've actually seen quite a. Have we seen quite a bit of Moira? I don't really know,
Might
but
have.
it's just kind of like a generalist slam your face into the other team healer, and that will be banned. And on the other side, Farah gets banned, which is actually pretty
Oh.
significant on this point because at least two of them, Farah's incredibly spammy, takes over so much of the map on those off angles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I very much agree. It's something to also say that, without, seeing Fair up into the action, you don't got to worry about those perks of the barrage, just flying in the air randomly. But as well, taking out the Moira here is a great choice. Now this limits the compositions that teams could run here. I still expect it to be Brawly, a compositional backline though. If I were to say, probably Lucio Kiri here, if I were to say anything. But yeah, Nashville Legends and New York Insomnia. What do you think they're gonna pick here?
I mean, I like that. I like that Carry Lucio backline a lot. I think that Juno may come out. We get some pretty interesting. We get some Lifeweaver, but Piper on the side of Nashville does show up on the Kiri, on the Juno. Actually, I was wrong, but yeah, looks like a Juno mirror with a sim mirror as well.
Yeah, very much interesting choices here. Looking at that team composition from both Nashville Legends and New York Insomnia, they will be rolling out of the spawn here just a tad bit quicker. But as we just got to see, Saucepan's going to get a little bit slower. But they still have the Juno for the speed ring. So something to say about Nashville Legends, they're still going to have this tempo. But New York Insomnia, they are on this point first. They're going to try and get a pick. But yeah, Biscuit getting low there.
Nashville is moving into the white room, just taking a little space, hoping to push up with the Maywall or the cardiac overdrive in a second. And they start walking forward. Peachcrisp looking at the Bonaparte. Bonaparte just gets melted. Charge goes in, and they're just unfolding this team. That Simbeam takes a little bit too long, and God, Biscuit's last alive gets cleaned up, and it's Nikki's down as well.
Yeah, so something that you kind of predicted, you know, in the introduction of the broadcast, Nashville Legends, they are bringing the game for that introduction here up on Lijiang Tower. They have been working pretty well consistently by far, but, you know, they still got to get this to 99%. Will they get a pick here? It all depends if they speed up in here with that speed ring of the Juno.
Wall comes out.
Oh, look at that.
God. The wall and the Malga charge comes out and cleans up onto Bonaparte. He had the rock out to try and stop it, but no, just got cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely impressive. A rock, absolutely insane rock. But yeah, New York Insomnia still struggling here against Nashville Legends. And you look at Nashville Legends, they're going to have this Bastion ultimate of Saucepan. So I do expect this ultimate to be used here probably.
Yes, gets ripped immediately while Peachcrisp charges in. Gets Dragon Master with the orbital strike, or the artillery shots. And Peachcrisp actually dies. May ult committed. Looking to catch out. Biscuit is gonna get frozen, but there's no conversion. Rez actually comes out though. Peachcrisp is back. Nashville does have 5. Tracer. Peachcrisp is just in even farther. And oh, this Saucepan off angle.
Boy. Oh my gosh, that's nasty from the Juno player, but as well, Saucepan able to get that pick there. But something to worry about here is their ultimates of New York Insomnia. You get to see the Sigma getting used there, and was it a good choice from New York?
They commit Juno ult, but High Noon doesn't go off. And this is looking like a very convincing round out of
oh my
out of
gosh.
New York.
Look at that. I mean, Saucepan just able to convert on more picks after more. Saucepan is cooking up a 5-star dish with a pan at the moment. Might just be up in Gordon Ramsay's 5 out of 5-star kitchen. But yeah, Nashville Legends, they are bringing it out here very, very strong. They are brawling it out up in the ring. But yeah, New York Insomnia, something to say about their composition is they were a little slow. So what do you think New York Insomnia could do here to fix their tempo?
I mean, it looked like New York they were picking heroes to like take 1v1s, but Nashville just wasn't getting it. Nashville was just balling up, using that cardiac overdrive to just clump as 5, or even just have a Bastion hanging back, spraying down, and just they didn't get the 1v1s they wanted. So I like this Reaper Bastion swap just to force pressure harder.
It's So here we go. New York Insomnia just trying to take a look onto Nashville. But as we get to see Saucepan a little more with that aim around that corner, who's going to be the one to get this first pick? Answer will be almost here, nearly. But look at that support line getting very low. Saucepan able to find an answer up on the Dragon. And without the Ana, it's looking a little bit desperately
It is a
for
3v3
New York
though,
Insomnia.
but Braid's cleanup does come through. And, I mean, yeah, this Reaper Bastion just puts pressure on Peace Chris that Bonaparte with a big shield just doesn't have. They are rotating through servers. Nashville taking this odd angle.
Oh, interesting. So as we get to see, we do get to see the main just trying to range here up in servers, maybe just trying to look for a wall onto this backline possibly to engage off of. But look at this speed ring engage coming out from Nashville. They need to find an answer here quickly, but look at the range.
That mercy boosted Bastion bombs just cleans up 3. Saucepan with the triple, Peach Crisp with the tank trade, and it's just Astro for the cleanup. We'll get out with Rayform.
This is phenomenal work from Nashville Legends. They are making their statement a little more legendary here by capping that. But something to say is they got ultimates.
Blizzard comes out, will catch the Ana, actually catches the Juno, but there's no conversion.
Yeah, very much true. Will they find answers
Juno,
here with Astro?
Orbital, Piper, Nano onto Bonaparte. Bonaparte just gets breaded. And Dragon Master's last to get finished.
Yeah, so New York Insomnia here does get taken out. They are still currently at 54%. Hasn't gotten the point back to themselves yet, but they do have this Bastion ultimate coming back. Orbital Ray as well, almost
Wall
online.
onto Bonaparte, but it gets broken, and Peach Chris is in some trouble here, down to at least a quarter, but Saucepan trades it, finds the pick onto the other Bastion. And Nashville's just chilling at this choke, actually pushing through to find Bonaparte.
Yeah, so New York Insomnia still trying to find something against the Nashville Legends, which have been finding just a tad bit more on this New York Insomnia side. But Nashville Legends, you're looking at 2 ultimates. I expect Peach to engage here off of that cage fight, especially with the Juno speed ring of pipe.
It's Nikki probably going to commit with the Juno Orbital, but Biscuit pops the artillery strike first, catches Saucepan, Rez might come out, maybe not, but Peach Chris is just in the back line. Don't know what happened there. 4v4 currently. Artillery strike used from Saucepan, committed onto Dragon Master, doesn't find it. Biscuit as well, pushing. Dragon Master finds the pick onto Tracer Eraser, and cleanup comes through onto Saucepan. Peach Chris is back, finds one. Juno Orbital committed from the side of New York, and Anti-Need confirms that kill onto Peach Crisp.
Yeah, very much so here. Nikki able to get one up onto Gem, and as we can see, New York Insomnia, they do take this one. Astro does have this Reaper Blossom, but you look at Nashville Legends, they have 3 ultimates to 4 ultimates coming back. Do you expect this Nashville Legends team to recap this and have a hope to getting a 2-0 here?
Wall comes out. Oh, Astro gets blown up before the Death Blossom comes out. And Dragon Master probably gonna get caught out. Aggressive Blizzard, flanking Blizzard, catches Biscuit with a freeze. Cage, oh no. He survives with Cardiac Overdrive. I didn't realize it gave that much armor. And that slam just to clean up the Diva. Interesting Death Blossom. Oh, it is overtime. That is the map. So last fight, cannot complain, but Nashville does take that point. They get the flip, they bring it back.
Yep, so Nashville Legends, they are setting pretty good, very strong here, especially with Saucepan. Somebody say about this player, Saucepan was always able to convert with an elimination, even off of that Gardens map, as we got to see, even going up into servers too. That secondary was definitely dominantly owned by Saucepan, but Saucepan overall was the performer up in that map 1. I don't expect this player to do any bad mistake, but this is against New York Insomnia, which could upset that player depending if they run those counter swaps or take out a pick that was very, very much important there. Will they ban the Bastion here?
I bet it's likely. If not this next map, then definitely sometime down the series, we're definitely going to see a Bastion ban, even a Mei ban, because Tracer Racer ran that Mei for the entirety of both points.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be something to see. Something to also talk about is the backline from both of these compositions. Both looked pretty strong coming out of the spawns, but more up on the side of Nashville. The alter communication in between both leaned more onto Nashville, just because Nashville was following up on those picks, converting up on those eliminations. They knew and had a mindset plan in their head. But if you're New York Insomnia here, you have this next map to rethink your strategy against Nashville Legends, which, it's not over. You could still, cook something up. You could take out a pick, which is very important, like how I did quote, or you can, do something that can oppose the different side of the composition.
And we are actually seeing a substitution come out for the side of New York Insomnia. We're seeing Parasite go in for DPS, Biscuit moving over to the support, and Dragon Master going to the bench.
So yeah, what do we think about those substitutions?
I think that's very good, because Parasite, I know from past experience, and actually a game that I've cast, has said before, Parasite. They're going to be playing heavy Pharah, which I think is very excellent for this Bastion and Mei. Just attempt to just spam out these relatively mid-range heroes.
Yeah. It's not something to say about the Mei. Maybe we'll be able to get to see that more. I feel like Brawl-like compositions will definitely still stay up in this game pace here between both of the teams. So if they wanted to run like a Ramatra comp, I know that definitely fits well in between that. But as well, a Reinhardt composition. Looking for walls could definitely be huge there in picking up on those shatters. But, something to still say is you got the next map. New York Insomnia needs to pick something that's going to fit their strategy level and persuade themselves in a better footing.
They do pick Runasapi, which I think is an interesting pick coming out. I think it's just like, it's one of the better push maps. It's a very inoffensive pick. I think it's one of the better push maps, and there's a lot of angles to be taken. And also in conjunction with the Mauga ban from the side of New York, I think that's definitely going to help them in the Brawl matchup. If they either choose to play Brawl, or choose to just like forgo it and play a more pokier comp, or even like a dive. I don't even know what Nashville, on the other hand, is going to play without the Mauga, because the last game I cast, that's kind of where they found their footing, on this Mauga comp with Peach Crisp just running it down main. So we have yet to see.
Yeah, I know teams, usually whenever it steps up in front of that Runasapi map, it could be also a dive-type composition that they could run. Monkey is pretty viable here, especially with the Brig on a backline. That can get a lot out of the, other team's composition, depending if they hit those antis. But, oh, sorry, I lost words of speaking there. Nashville Legends.
It's all good.
I'm kind of wondering what Nashville Legends is going to ban here against the Mauga, because as you said,
they do ban the Ash. They do ban the Ash.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
honestly, just send us. Send us. We are not on. You are not on our time. We are on your time. Send us into the game. Prod is ready. We will stop talking. We will get to Ash when we get to Ash. I mean, I don't think the Ash ban is too targeted at the moment. Like I said, Parasite is probably in for a Pharah player, and Astro was showing up on a hit scan. I can't remember if it was Cass or Sojourn, but it was one of the two. So, yeah, I mean, they have 2 hit scans open for them other than Ash. So, we have yet to
Yeah.
see what the comps are going to be. 25 seconds until we get into this map.
Yeah, 20 seconds now, and Nashville, they are the ones leading here, currently 1-0. It is first to 3, best of 5 series. New York Insomnia still trying to find an answer here. Can this be their hope of Runasampi? Let's take a look at these team compositions. It's going to be looking at a Ramatra, and as I did say, in quotes, Nashville Legends, I like this choice if they do keep this monkey, but a little scuffed for the backline, I'd probably say. It's going to be a lot of damage, but it's going to be dangerous for that heal.
Yeah, definitely. If a speed ring comes out from the side of from New York with like Biscuit, and they just int the Zen on a backline, it could go very wrong. But as we see it, Sombra versus Tracer, Tracer Racer versus the titular Tracer, and first fight is starting here. Bonaparte on this Ramacha, looking to just clump with this team and fight. It's really only poke right now. Saucepan is taking sort of an aggressive angle on this venture, but Gemini finds Astro on the Tracer. It's not even Tracer Racer, and Parasite is the next to go down, caught out of the air by Sombra on the Echo. And Curie TP signals the end of the team fight.
All right, so interesting choices here from both of the sides, but we do get to see swaps here coming from New York Insomnia. But look at this aggression from Peach. Is it going to be a little costly, though? You get to see Bond there just punching their way through, but New York Insomnia
gets caught out.
Yeah.
And I mean, Parasite isn't on the Pharah that I talked about. Rather the Reaper, just to look main. And him and Bonaparte patch out Saucepan on the Venture and Peach Crisp. And reversal of the bot comes through.
Yeah, so here we go. New York Insomnia now up in this one. Hopefully they could find their leading favor here with the bot. Something to say about both of the teams here is you look at the support backlines. Nashville Legends, not as much of heals like, but as we could see, and as I say, Gem is going to be switching onto a different hero, and I actually like the pick of Brig, but is it going to sustain the Ramatra a lot here?
Yeah,
I'd probably expect Winston, though.
We are actually seeing that Ramatra mirror from Peach Crisp. Don't know if it's just like too fast, too furious with the Winston, and they want something a little bit slower, but block is being held. Some resources traded down this alleyway. Annihilation actually comes out, looking to catch out Saucepan, but no, Saucepan gets out. Annihilation now onto Peach Crisp, and it should fade by the time, and Gemini's just backing out. Piper doesn't escape, but this Brig gets caught out. And they're still walking. Yep. They're trying to go as far as they can.
Yeah, so New York Insomnia still just looking for more out of this fight, but, you know, you're looking at that meterage just go up and up, and they are sitting at a good 65 right now, still totaling, and New York Insomnia, they have that EMP ready to go, but as well, Nashville Legends, they do too. New York Insomnia, though, I feel like they're going to find some more answers here, but they are kind of aware of the tank ult situation.
EMP into Venture ult, counter EMP comes out, but, I mean, Braids are already going the way of Nashville.
Yeah, Nashville Legends, you almost have that Annihil. I feel like that's going to be huge plays from them here very much shortly, and they also have a Nano coming up, so stuff could be placed, maybe save some ultimates, but a huge hack coming out.
Gets hacked and caught out. Unfortunate. And I mean, Nashville's just going to need to back up, or Gemini's going to go down. They're committing to this. Nano comes out. I wonder if Annihilation's going to follow. No, it doesn't look like. No, never mind. It does come out. they're fighting this like 3v5. Piper actually does get caught out by Parasite, and Peach Crisp a little bit rough from the side of Nashville, committing
Yeah.
into that down fight.
Yeah, so now I'm wondering, New York Insomnia, you're looking at a great ultimate economy over Nashville Legends. If I were them, I would probably just take more space, right? You got Parasite's ultimate, a Reaper Blossom, which you can engage with that speed ring of the Juno. So it would be a huge play if New York Insomnia were just to aggress more and more into that Nashville side.
Astro is the first to go down, but Saucepan is traded out. Rez will come through. Never mind. Death Blossom on top the Rez. Catches 2. Parasite gets traded back by Peach Crisp right before Peach Crisp themselves going down, and the Rez falls again.
Yeah, so unfortunate there from Nashville. They are still very much struggling here up on Runasapi against New York Insomnia, which New York has been finding so much answer. Look at that ultimate economy. 3 orbital rays popped. Biscuit, great aggression there, but is getting shot at.
Rams just swing, and Peach Crisp actually gets outpunched. Must have just not had the same support as Bonaparte did. Annihilation committed, and that's just gonna force both people out point, and it's looking like a very fast map too.
Wow. Look at that. I mean, New York Insomnia finding so much out of the Runasapi map pick. Yeah, this was great and planned from New York Insomnia. I feel like they pressured the side of Nashville Legends pretty well, especially when they had their engages. You always got to see New York Insomnia find those entry picks. They were leveling the side of Nashville Legends, but yeah, it is 1-1 here, and I guess I could say it is level, right? You know, 1-1.
It is level, but I mean, that was off the back of Peach Crisp getting their Maga band. That was an incredibly strong ban from the side of New York that converted them a map, but I do have to wonder, is it gonna convert them 2 or 3, or is it just gonna be this one map?
Yeah, who knows? You know, it's something that we're gonna have to wait and see until the next one, right? You know, New York Insomnia can maybe upset Nashville Legends and read them more here possibly, or Nashville Legends can shoot their way back. I expect this series to go a lot far, probably to the map 5. Both of the teams are trying to get a win out of this. They want to move forward with a positive record, right? But in dire needs of stuff, as you said, I feel like Nashville Legends, they have a good setup against New York Insomnia.
Yeah, they definitely do. I mean, no swaps coming out from either side. Wasn't sure if Dragon Master was going to be subbed back in. And King's Row is called, Scrim Throw. The good old classic.
That is
We're
true.
in a London metro. Bans haven't been announced from either side.
United Kingdom, you know, King's
United
Row.
Kingdom. Parliament itself.
That's true.
Just trying to list off how many obscure references, or not really obscure, but like
The big red bus, guys. The big red bus.
the place where the Queen fell over.
we might get canceled for that one.
No.
You know, let's see. What other stuff can we talk about King's Row? You know, there's like a hidden story behind that map, right? That kind of started the lore of Overwatch, I'd probably say.
Yeah, it definitely was, because that was oh god, that was the Widowed Tracer animation. That was how many years ago?
Like an MLG quickscope.
MLG quickscope onto
Add it to the
a
montage.
Freedom speaker.
Oh man, yeah, it's like it was like a planned assassination. Blizzard was trying their best to say that was gonna happen, but yeah, I do have something to say though about New York Insomnia. if they were to do better against this Nashville Legends team, I could see this being a good run for them in the long run. Not worrying about Nashville's pace, but you look at how New York got a little stumbled up on map 1. I feel like that's something that they got to worry about because now Nashville Legends has that map pick, and I feel like Nashville is going to be picking something that's going to favor them more than New York.
We actually see the first ban come out, banning Sombra, which is an interesting ban because I don't think that, like, yes it was like pretty significant that Tracer duel or that Sombra duel on Runasapi was like a large part of it, like with those EMP trades, but I don't think it was the entire picture. Mercy ban, on the other hand, definitely targeting Gemini.
Wow, yeah, that's
just
like
straight to the throat on Gemini, because I'm pretty sure they played Mercy all game. I don't think they've swapped off of Mercy. And I mean, they've been pocketing Saucepan, they've been helping out Tracer Racer, they've been keeping up Piper, so we'll have to see what Gemini swaps to.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what Gemini can swap to for sure. Can they find a better pick for themselves here heading up against the opposing side? But I kind of enjoyed the Sombra pick, but was it useful, right? Because you got to see the tanks have like a slaughter fast in between each other, rolling it out, but as well, like the DPS were finding answers. I feel like you could have banned the Reaper too, right? But it's interesting choices. I feel like these teams know what they're trying to do here. They're trying to cook something up, and I believe in them, right? That's something that I at least gotta do. Maybe you do too, but New York Insomnia at Nashville. Very, very shortly, we will be heading up into the next map. And to kind of predict this, I still do think this is gonna head to the map 5 scenario against these two teams because they just want to compete back and forth. And the aggression that we got to see from the first two maps, it was lopsided. Like New York Insomnia took the map by how much percentage? Like 80 some percent over
I think it was
30?
I think it was a full first cap. Wait, which map are you talking about? Runasapi or
Yeah,
Lijiang?
yeah, yeah. Runasapi with like the
Runasapi.
meterage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think Nashville even got their checkpoint. I think it
Wow.
was New York pushed it all the way.
Yeah, like New York has just been cooking. This is why they call New York the Big Apple, right? New York is trying to cook something up. Hopefully, there's no worms, right? But New York, maybe they could show us some pigeons here, you know?
We're seeing not that much creativity on the side of Nashville. Doesn't mean that they're not cooking. They're still running this
Oh, look at
Malga
that
Bastion
widow.
May. And yeah, Parasite actually picking up the Widow. Astro mirroring the May. And a Kiri Lucio backline.
I feel like we're about to see Parasite just implement a whole entire chaos momentum up onto this side. But as we get to see, Parasite does switch over to the Bastion, mashing the side of Saucepan. I do like this choice because now Saucepan has a competitor.
Yeah, they're trying to push for this statue control, and I mean Tracer Racer needs to. Cryo Block is forced. Astro does get the May wall, but Peachcrest charges backline, and May 1-to-1 trade. Peachcrest charges again. Parasite finds the Bastion mirror.
Oh, the slow.
The slow doesn't catch the charge out. Bonaparte needs to be careful against this Malga. Pops form. And they get a pretty decent wall onto Peachcrest. Peachcrest pops that cardiac and just gains so much health. That Bastion burn is insane, and Tracer Racer is contesting, but Peachcrest is so low. Maywall comes out, catches, a trade comes out onto Biscuit, but
Oh, crazy play
that cleanup.
Yeah, as we get to see here, New York Insomnia now escorting this payload. But look at Nashville Legends. They're getting pushed back, and I would still worry about playing the Zen here.
As you say that, I mean, it's just like a late. The point flipped, and it was just Juno Zen. And honestly, Piper might get caught out here. Has those Juno movement abilities. Cage actually popped to catch the tank and May and Biscuit on that Lucio.
Hold on, wait. Nashville, you are cooking right now. You have ticks up on your side, but is the support backline still going to hold against a dominant backline of New York Insomnia? You have TP that you could use to get out of situations, as well as these ultimates, right? They are so pumped and ready if you are New York Insomnia, but as well, Nashville Legends, they got sustained, but this is going to be so interesting.
Artillery barrage used first, looking to just catch Saucepan, and it finds its target as Astro picks up that Tracer kill.
That was a pop-off play there.
And New York is just going to walk forward to catch these last three members. They're committing. Double support ult. And honestly, I like the way New York handled it. Parasite does... Oh no. Never mind. Annihilation is forced. Artillery barrage used as well. Very messy fight.
Oh, look at the sustain though.
Pulse Bomb catches Biscuit while stuck to Bonaparte. And Nashville cleans up after heavy investment for both sides.
Yeah, so Nashville Legends, you are still, doing a great job here against New York Insomnia. But as we get to see some swaps coming in, now Juno up on the side of New York Insomnia. Maybe they want to play a little more quicker here, but I still like the Kiriko. You got the TP. The perk is absolutely insane, right? You could just TP basically anywhere, TP multiple times.
The dance perk.
Yeah.
Saucepan on this off angle, looking to pressure. Astro does find it. Peachcrest in the backline. Cardiac used. Blizzard committed. Finds no one, but splits Peachcrest. Peachcrest commits Cage to fight this. Goes down without... Actually, burn damage onto its Nikki does clean up that Kiriko. And it's support line and Bastion against... Bastion, Ram, and Juno.
Yeah, so let's see what Nashville can do. Oh my god, look at that. New York Insomnia.
They just rush in. They have their Tracer back and they just press W. Now Saucepan on this high ground. Kiri, Kunai's whizzing past. Gets cleaned up by Astra on the Tracer.
Still chasing him down. That's what we get to see here. But New York Insomnia still looking very, very set and ready. 3 ultimates up on the board for them. 4th coming up of Annihil. Nashville Legends, though, if you are Tracer, you could definitely look for a pulse. Maybe up on the back line for sure.
Just a little bit of tank trading. Bastion, or Bonaparte loses his armor, forced to back out, and Bracer Duel goes the way of Astro. Orbital Ray used to clean up Peachcrest.
Oh, look at this. This
Artillery
might be
barrage
big.
finds no one from Saucepan, and Gemini pops Transcendence just as Annihilation comes through to clean up. Saucepan actually cleaned up a second time.
And look at this. Like, still pressure coming out from the side of New York Insomnia. But Parasite using their ultimate to just finish this one out here. And yeah, something to say about this New York Insomnia side is maybe they're putting Insomnia up on the side of Nashville. They are just pressuring them so much.
But Juno Orbital Ray is committing to this fight. They are probably going to trade, get some trades, 3 to 4. And I mean, Nashville, as you were saying, New York Insomnia are going to close it out. They actually don't. Piper just commits the Orbital Ray and they just clean house.
Yeah, and as we get to see Nashville Legends, they will have Peach's cage fight ready to go. So do expect that up in that next ultimate fight. But you look at New York Insomnia, they have nothing to match that yet.
Gemini gets caught out by the disruptor shot, and so does Peachcrest from this Bastion. Actually, spray transfer onto Saucepan. Piper, one of the last, gets caught out, and Racer last touch point as New York cap with a minute 20.
Yeah, minute 20, definitely indeed here for New York Insomnia. And something to say about this New York Insomnia side is I love what they're doing against the Nashville side. They are reading the mistakes of Nashville, but as well, Nashville is putting aside those mistakes and saying, "Hey, we could do the same against New York Insomnia. We could read their mistakes." And as we got to see, that time was lowered. They were holding New York Insomnia there and then up on that secondary, kind of somewhat third, but Nashville, now you are in a set scenario of where you can take forward, right? You can get a little more time than the New York Insomnia side. And look at this composition from Nashville Legends. Peach is still going to be rocking that Melka. I do expect that to still be ran, but still very much interesting choices here coming out of that support line. Do you expect the Zen to get that much damage heading up against Parasite and Bond, which has been pretty phenomenal for the New York Insomnia side with that pressure?
I mean, I think it's like an interesting pick. I just thought that like Gemini was playing a little bit too far forward, just like being a little bit too easy to be the focus of for the
Yeah,
rundown.
like overextending.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's overextending, more just like not expecting how fast New York was moving. Um, but doors open, Malga poking, Genji pick out of Saucepan, leaving this Bastion. I did actually see Saucepan playing Genji last Sunday, and it went excellent from this early kill onto Tracer, Eraser, Mayblock, and Astro is the trade back, late trade, and Peachcrest just goes anti-committed, and Peachcrest still gets one while anti does eventually go down, and Saucepan just commits into backline. Suzu forced. Will get the wall climb out. Piper slept in the middle of Times Square. Wrong city, but like, right. And Tracer Racer catches out the Ana. Bonaparte forced back, and they're really just fighting it. Peachcrest is back already. Died one of the first, but I mean, it's a 4v4 right now. 5 for the side of Nashville, actually. But they're still just chilling.
Yeah, so New York Insomnia, you got to be prepared against the side of Nashville, but as well, you look at Peach getting very, very low up in that scenario, but Sauce able to find a pickup on Astro here. This is beneficial up on the side of Nashville Legends, and Gem to just sustain that with that ult. This is great and looking good for them, but they do step off, and I gotta say, that's a bit of a time waster.
Committed into the back line.
God.
Kitsune in response, but it's Nikki actually gets killed after popping Kitsune.
Racer was absolutely insane and absolutely incredible up on that Reaper Blossom side, and Sauce just able to follow more up on the Bond here, but wonderful stuff. Like, this is such a great aggression side of Nashville. And would you
They're
say
just
that
holding their spawn?
Yeah.
Saucepan gets a deflect kill while pressing the spawn door, committing the blade. That's a little bit clip for me, but I mean, yeah, it's a choice of all time. And Peachcrest does finish out those people who were in that spawn.
Yeah, Peach making them look like a crisp out there, shredding them. But in Nashville, this is a different look for you. I feel like the aggression up on the side of New York Insomnia has definitely lowered down. They're trying to be aware of this scenario. If you're New York Insomnia, though, you have ultimates. Maybe aggress with the Anile. That's something that I would expect. But Parasite, though.
Bras does come up first, looking to catch out Gemini. And it doesn't find Gemini. Blizzard committed onto an unfortunate location. Bonaparte gets shredded back, but it's already 3 down for the side of Nashville.
Parasite, though. This is good. More up on the side of Parasite. New York Insomnia able to hold this one. You still have a Nile, which this is huge plays. Not wasting that ultimate up in the last fight scenario was a beneficial factor. But now, Nashville Legends, you still have Orbital Ray, you have the Zen ultimate coming up, but as well, you have Cage Fight. So I do expect Orbital Ray might as well pop the Cage Fight here if you're Nashville. You got
Yeah,
a
I definitely
aggressive
expect
more.
that cage fight into Orbital Ray. It's just like, you wish you kept like Blizzard for that cage fight, because that's
Yeah.
probably going to be the only thing to save you. Orbital Ray comes up first. Here comes cage fight. No, actually not pop. Cardiac overdrive used, and they're just cleaning it without cage fight.
Oh my god, Sauce is saucing it up right now. Sauce is absolutely going insane with two Nashville Legends. Wonderful stuff coming out from them, but Sauce and Tracer able to get more follow-up on picks, and if you're Nashville, you're able to get this cap here. So good looks, and yeah, Bond's just going to take that one for themselves.
And this is an incredible pace from the side of Nashville. 4 minutes and 45 seconds going into point 3. Like, it's not all the time in the world. It's not 5 minutes, but like, it's still. I think it is more time. It definitely has to be more time than what New York was working with.
Yeah, and it's going to be an ultimate battle as we get to see New York Insomnia and Nashville Legends. They have ultimates out of the wazoo. I expect these ultimates to get pumped from both sides, and as we get to
France
see...
committed.
Oh,
Cage onto the back line. Blizzard used as well, just to block off space. And Gemini actually puts it in the favor of, never mind, gets traded back by Saucepan. 1v1 on the back line. Corpse goes flying, but cart is retaken by New York.
so New York is trying to just do a tad bit more against what Nashville tried doing on the narrative defense. But the question is, New York Insomnia has two ultimates, but you do switch over to the Torb. So if you're working with Hertz, the Torb, you're able to place your turret up on walls, right? So I expect that to get charged. But look at that.
It's going to take quite a bit of time, and Anti comes out and just catches.
A blade.
But Saucepan
We got Sauce.
cleans the entire backline of New York. Gets a third one onto Parasite. And this fight is going to be very stressful for New York. They do get a Bonaparte on for contest, and he doesn't have Annihilation. Why did I think he did? That Tracer Racer pick from It's Nikki is probably going to secure the deal for New York holding this for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and as we get to see, time still ticking down here. New York Insomnia making it look good. They do still have this Nano ready to go, but look at Parasite get so low up in that fight. That is dangerous.
Orbital Ray committed first. Saucepan in the back line, but it's all to make space for Tracer Racer, who
gosh.
finds 4 off of Peach Crisp, and although Tracer Racer goes down, that is a minute 25. Just 6 seconds faster than New York.
Yeah, and though I will say, if it wasn't for those plays of those players that, the aggression coming in from the tank, but as well the DPS line, the Reaper Blossom following up on those picks, it was such great stuff from Nashville Legends. They definitely needed that, and as we get to see, and as you said, 6+ seconds compared to New York Insomnia, so not too much of a difference up in time bank, kind of somewhat similar, but New York Insomnia, you are back to your standard. Same with Nashville Legends. Yeah, and I gotta say, if you are Nashville, you're up in a good spot. You still are reading the side of New York Insomnia, but New York Insomnia is kind of doing the same against Nashville, so we still got a competitive matchup on our hands here up in Kings Row, and there's just a box lying there. Wait, did you see that?
Sorry, where?
There's just like a box up on point. It's just sitting there randomly.
Not in. At least on my computer, it's not showing it, but
Box
I mean,
cam! Box cam! This is like true boxing POV, guys.
true box cam. But we have to mention the Pharah from Parasite. I originally said that's why Parasite was getting swapped in, but
Mhm.
I think it's as good as time as ever to pull that out. We are seeing Astro on the Sojourn, taking this high ground off angle. Gets nearly caught out by the Reaper, and actually does get caught out by the Reaper. Thought they got away, but Peach Chris commits in. Gets anti slept. Probably going to stay alive. That kill onto Biscuit and onto Parasite. Bastion Bombs taking out the flying character. Interesting.
Yeah, and look at this. I mean, New York Insomnia in a great, no, well, not too great of a spot, right? Nashville Legends, you are really holding this side of the Insomnia. But look at that. Bastion, if you are Saucepan, still making a great work and effort.
Peach Chris charges in so far onto its Nikki. Gets its Nikki. And if no trades happen back, one comes back. And they don't touch! They don't touch. I thought they
Oh.
got the 3 seconds under, but no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So...
We might see a draw. We might see a map 5. We might even see a map 6 this series if this point turns into a draw.
That would be cool, especially. But
That
you
would
do
be
gotta
interesting.
remember that both teams do have perks up in this scenario, and stuff could change the whole entire game, right? If they were to bring out a Juno for a tad bit of speed here, if you're Nashville, you could definitely do that. New York Insomnia, if you are them though, you're gonna be up in a very, very tough position,
I
especially up
like
on
this
the
diva pick.
defense.
I think this diva pick is interesting. I don't we just haven't seen it before at this point, but I think it could work into the Mauga and this high aggression comp that Nashville is putting out.
Reaper's a counter though, so it's it's gonna be something definitely to watch. New York Insomnia, can they find an answer here? Will this lead to that tie match scenario that everybody wants to see, or will this be another map win for one of the teams that could just be leading here? But as we get to see, teams are rolling out of those spawn doors.
Gates do open. We are seeing the Genji pick from Saucepan, not the Bastion pick. Price Eraser on that Reaper, and they've already taken statue. That cast nearly catches out Price Eraser, but Genji on high ground, forcing. Mauga already forcing Peach with point with Peach Crisp. Anti comes out, leaves at least 500 damage. And point slows down as Mauga backs up.
Yeah, and look at this. New York Insomnia just
Ooh,
trying to get some
and
kills.
1-to-1 trade turned into a 2-1 as Saucepan and Tracer Racer go down. Biscuit is on the respawn timer, walking slowly with that Ana. And both DPS from Nashville are going to get here sooner.
Yep, pretty ranged, though, by far. 25 seconds remaining, and as we can see, Peach with the rotation. This is a great play. Now you got high ground, and you're able to press the Sojourner.
You got
Oh,
high
yeah.
ground control. This Ana from Biscuit might get caught out, but no, the Mei walks a different path. 10 seconds remaining.
Tie.
Oh, that pick onto Saucepan is
Oh my
massive.
gosh.
Maywall comes to slow down. D-Max spawn apart. That High Noon gets slammed canceled. Cardiac Overdrive is probably going to clean this up as kills come through. Tracer Racer with 1, Piper with 1, Peach Crisp with 1, and that charge onto point doesn't even need to get the last 2 as Nashville close out this King's Row.
Yeah, Nashville Legends making it look as a rarity as they are. Legends as they are, too. Legend. But, yeah. New York Insomnia. A bit of a situational awareness thing. I feel like they just got to be a tad bit quicker up in those rotations, as we got to see in the leading of the ends there of, King's Row. They had a plan up in mind, but they couldn't get to it as quick enough. Like, they were trying to ult, but it was just red a lot more quicker up on the side of Nashville. So you got to take that up in your mind when you're playing up against the Nashville team, which knows you just a bit more.
And I mean, we already see the next map and ban come out from the side of New York. A Saravasa pick, which apparently people love Saravasa. Like, I could not tell you how many times I've seen Saravasa, like map 3 or map 4 for some reason. Have you seen Saravasa in your casting career?
Yes, as a caster, I know people do fave that map, but yeah, it's a great map for any team that also brings certain types of compositions up in there. I know through my past, there's been teams that just run a whole entire composition the whole way through. So maybe throughout the season here, I might be able to get an introductory to that. But who knows? We only got these two teams right in front of us. But yep. It's a great map. I would definitely love to see what the teams could cook. I do expect a rush composition to play here, but as well brawl coming out could also be used.
I think we are just going to see the stick onto the brawl, like especially with the Malga still being unbannable on the side of New York. Though we do see a Bastion ban coming onto the side of New York, targeting Saucepan, who was very dominant. Keep in mind, he looked equally as dominant on the Genji. Like when they did play a different character other than Bastion, they were showing up on the Genji. They were showing up not as friends, taking that high ground and popping blades in interesting opportunities.
Yeah, I very much agree. It was great stuff from the side of Sauce up on that Bastion, but yeah, now this is going to shift the momentum throughout this game and this series here that we have up on our hands. But now Nashville Legends, what do you think they're going to ban?
I mean, I've already seen what they ban, so I cannot answer as a... I'll just cover my eyes. They're probably going to ban, Ana. I think they'll ban Ana. No reason why I say that, but I mean, I do think that is one of the more correct bans from the side of Nashville, because those anti-nades onto Peach Chris were putting so much pressure. Like they couldn't just walk. I was actually thinking about mentioning, but I kind of did want to see Gemini on instead of Zen, see him on Kiri, just to cleanse Peach Chris when Peach Chris charges backline.
Yeah, and we also got to see a lot of Ana played there throughout the King's Row. So as you did say, cleanse the slash Zulu would have been huge to use there. But I still feel like Gemini is gonna run off the side of Zen here. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that it's something different, because looking at it, is it gonna favor around those corners? I know the damage is gonna be there, but you gotta be a little more brawlier up in the situation here, especially if you want a great map differential against the side of New York.
And I completely forgot what the other ban was last map, but it was Mercy for Gemini. And we now see Mercy is unbanned, Gemini playing that Mercy. I don't really think there's any thought to it. I think there's just comfort pick. So we're going to see a Mercy Juno backline versus a Mercy Baptiste backline.
All right, so both teams rolling out a spawn here. We get to see New York Insomnia running out up on a Ramatra composition. This is pretty viable against the Brawl of Malga, but Nashville Legends, they are set up good. I would worry if I'm Gemini, though. You have a Tracer, which is Astro, that could just damage you.
Yep. And I mean, New York just looking, we're actually pressuring them to Nashville all the way to the back of the point. Parasite taking this deep TP, looking for Tracer Racer. Does has Wraith, but Wall comes out. Doesn't quite catch Parasite. And I mean, New York has just bullied Nashville off this point. Petrus under half, hasn't been over half this entire fight until Parasite gets gunned down in the streets. Tracer Racer find that Tracer pick, and Peachcrest going so low, but I mean, just something about Mauga, man.
Yeah. As we get to see, Nashville, they are cooking at the moment. New York Insomnia, though, they did make a swap up on, which is now Astro playing the side of Cass. So a little bit of an interesting switch up there to describe what they're trying to do. I'd probably say they want to take angles, right? So you would probably expect New York Insomnia to create some space against Nashville.
I mean, I feel like Tracer was better for the angles. Realistically, they're probably just looking to press forward harder, and we actually see Blizzard catching like 3 or 4 at least. Conversions come through, finds every single member that was frozen, and Astro.
Getting saucy. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, Nashville, they do pull up the Valk there, so they don't have Valk, but yeah, you are running to a good 95, about to be 99, 100%, but Nashville
First point
Legends.
is capped. It's going backwards from the perspective of Nashville.
Yeah.
Onto the Ruins objective.
Gotta say, Nashville Legends, they are set really, really well here with their ultimates. 3 ready to go. Malga Cage could definitely be used. I still expect a Juno Speed Ring from the side of Nash just to get more pressure off the side of New York.
Just some light poke coming in. Speeder committed from Biscuit. But, I mean, there goes the first ult. Age committed to cancel out BAP window. And there goes Age with the Juno Orbital Strike. Cleans house as Peachcrest just one-man armies. But I mean, other picks came through. I was looking at the wrong spot because it's still a 3v3 and point flips to the side of New York. I don't really know what happened there. I didn't see the 2 picks that that New York got,
Oh
but
my
they're
gosh.
leaning up even more. Astro is low on this flank, might actually die. Oh no, this is just an overextension.
Yeah, very, very much so a overextension. But I still feel like New York Insomnia, they have a plan straight up in their head. And if you're a Parasite, you could definitely get a lot of damage with that Reaper Blossom. Maybe even that Orbital Ray could be popped for sustain with Bond to come back. But, as we could see, that Bond is recapturing.
High Noon in an unslammable spot, but Blizzard is committed, finds 2. Conversion finds 3 actually, and all 3 are converted. And the wall on Bonaparte is just rude, and that res is ruder. Parasite does get the point flip, as the rest of his team dies. But
I'm waiting for that Reaper Blossom to just get popped. I feel like Parasite
just die on point.
Oh, okay,
TP
great choices. Great choices. I like this. So Parasite's still gonna try and look for a TP up on the point here, maybe just to pop that Reaper Blossom, or just go in.
Speedring Blossom.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't get canceled by the slam, but I mean, it works out into pretty much 2. Fight is actually even, as never mind, Bonaparte just swings onto 2. Cage is committed, lamp forced, but Peachcrest just gets finished while in cage.
Yeah, and as we can see, that point does flip over to New York Insomnia, which still needs to find a point here up in our map for here. But I like what both of the tanks are doing. They're really pulling this aggression forward. But look at that, getting the Mei out of that. Nashville gotta back up and head towards this next.
Gemini might get picked. Nah, Blight gets out, and it's actually Peachcrest first to go down. Saucepan finds an exit onto Parasite before dying themselves, but New York is just walking to the next point. Where is next point? They look confused. Where are they going?
They are lost in a trance. Never mind. All right. See, they are going to be in a great space, matter of fact. And New York Insomnia, same with Nashville Legends. You're looking at a great ultimate economy between both the sides. I feel like Parasite, though, up onto this point engage, can definitely charge up more with that Reaper Blossom, just depending. I know it's sitting half up on that ultimate, but I expect that ultimate to get very much charged.
Back window committed early from Dragon Master, looking to catch out Tracer Racer. Tracer Racer commits the Blizzard instead. High Noon catches one. Barely doesn't catch Gemini, but Gemini is traded back. And Orbital Ray is committed just onto Beachcrest, and if you're Biscuit, you would like that back. Unfortunate.
Yeah, so something to say about Nashville is they kind of panicked. I feel like New York Insomnia, they really read them more there. But to look at New York Insomnia, look at how much ultimates they used, right? So this could just come back for the side of Nashville Legends to recontest this one. They have two ultimates ready to go. Orbital Ray almost about to get popped here, I expect. Maybe even that cast.
High
And
Noon
yes,
committed first, just zones. And Orbital Ray stacked on top of it.
unlucky, doesn't
Lamp committed, and it's
Awesome,
just
though.
Bonaparte gets burned. Touch is coming out, but Biscuit is cleaned. Dragon Master, other support to fall. And it's just Parasite. Doesn't even get Gemini on the exit.
So here we go. What do we think of the Nashville Legends composition right now? I feel like this comp is cooking, but as well, you're heading up against New York Insomnia, which has Parasite's Reaper Blossom. If you're Parasite, though, you have a great way to position this, right? You could just go up into the back, look for
Yeah,
more
you take the
value.
stairs.
Yeah.
They are just walking down one angle. Beachcrest Sam into
Oh,
cage. Gets burnt. Oh, but that stops
Oh, that's
Reaper
a
Wraith
good
and
read.
catches out. And Blizzard committed on top of that. Freezes the last two members as the point caps. You
Oh.
don't even need those
Yeah,
kills, but you get them
Freeze,
anyways.
unfortunately, didn't need to be popped there, but Nashville Legends, great way to use that cage fight. Now you're looking at Nashville with this, Cassidy ultimate ready to go. Can Saucepan find some answers? Last time we got to see Sauce pop that Cass ultimate, it wasn't much, but they were following up on eliminations without it. So maybe this is the first opportunity and first debut here.
Some light poke from both sides. Window committed early, very far up. Actually catches one, catches Tracer. Malga charges the back line. High Noon to zone.
Oh my
Rez
god.
comes out as Saucepan catches two with that High Noon. And Annihilation and Death Blossom committed. Both find one, and Flip comes from the side of the more invested ults.
So something to say about this New York Insomnia side is that they played that such a smooth way. New York Insomnia really read them like a book. Nashville Legends, they weren't as consistent there. Saucepan, though, did find eliminations, but the way to answer back to that was to use ultimates up on New York. So great way to use them.
This flank High Noon forces two people to hide behind the pillar. Not gonna find that much. And Parasite is the first to go down. Val committed, finds another onto Dragon Master, Astro as well, and it's looking like a clean fight from the side of Nashville.
Oh my. Yeah, Nashville able to get more out of this. And New York Insomnia, you have the side of that Orbital Ray, right? So if you are Insomnia, maybe you can just get this freaking test back, get this up into your favor with that. But now you have Saucepan. You got to see what Saucepan did. 2K up in that last scenario with that Cassidy ult. Will we see more?
Orbital committed early. Maywall, a little bit misses his mark. Peachcrest charges the flanking Reaper. High Noon committed. Blizzard as well.
Could be big.
Finds one freeze. Dragon Master converted. And it's just a 3v5 as a slam comes through onto another one. And those staggers means the end. It's the end of our series as cap goes the way of Nashville and 3-1 victory.
Yeah, and Nashville able to take this one, and you know, they are dancing their way as we get to see the La Seraphim there. And I gotta say, that collaboration is pretty sweet. I give credit to Blizzard, but New York Insomnia, such a great team, still a great competitor here, but Nashville Legends making it look legendary out there.
Yeah, they looked incredibly strong on that Malga comp. Just like run it down. The only map you lost was the map where Malga was banned. So, I mean, they're looking really damn competitive on just like one comp. Bans do come through, and I mean, kind of unfortunate for New York.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but hey, you got your next couple. You also got practices, right? Scrims that you can improve off of this. You can always watch the VOD back too, replays. You learn off of how you played your gameplay wise, macro wise against Nashville Legends or other teams here up in the league that you faced, that you did well up against. Maybe you could look back at one of those VODs to see and say, hey, maybe we could do this again next time. But Nashville Legends, they do take this one 3-1 over New York Insomnia. Such a dominant victory in my eyes. If you were to say anything about this one, what would you say about it? Because I know I saw that it was dominant, but would you say that it was dominant?
Let me think. I think it was. I don't know if like the individual fights were dominant, but it was very like a coin flip. It was very like someone would get the first pick and then maybe there would be a trade or two, but like usually whoever got the first pick got the fight win. And maybe that coin was a little bit weighted in the team with the Malga jumping on people.
Yeah. Maga
But
was there. Yeah, I mean, New York Insomnia, you do lose this one. Nashville, they do take the win. Yeah, this is actually great looks for Nashville, especially after the loss that they had against Pittsburgh.
yeah, that was an unfortunate loss to player DCing, player losing power actually. But I mean, on that last map that they should have played but didn't, Malga was banned, so it was still likely that they would have lost that series if they had played that last map. But I mean, great showing out of them tonight. They showed up on that comp, they played it well, and I mean, New York also played decently well. There was a little bit of ult overcommitting, but solid stuff out of both these teams.
Yeah, definitely solid. GG's to both of the teams, but as well, thank you, production behind us. I definitely give you credit. But as well, thank you for the league, having this as a first debut for me, seeing the league not too long ago up on Twitch, actually, and me joining here for my first. Gotta say, I like it, and I think I gotta keep on continuing it, man. I'm gonna be there.
You're
It's
gonna be
happen.
there. Are you gonna do finals? Are you gonna show up for the grand finals?
It depends. Hopefully, I'm not scheduled up in any other leagues.
Hopefully. But yeah, great showing tonight. There is another stream going on. Looks like it's a Ruby League match versus Washington Repellion versus Ottawa Savage. That is going on Lank RL's Twitch channel. We are raiding it, so you have no choice. You will participate in the raid. Yeah, I think that's all for us. I've been Area, Juno Slouch G, 5 other different names that you don't know me by. My co-caster has been Naya. Say goodnight.
All right, good night, all. You have a nice one.